Hello, welcome to Thriving Career Moms. Get inspired in your career interview series. And today I have my guest Aleksandra with me, who is a senior data science manager at Delivery Hero and a mom of soon to be three. And me and Aleksandra connected few years ago, like almost 5 years ago, yeah, since I had my first child. And I've been inspired by her career path through those years, and also she has been of support to me in my motherhood and career journey. So I'm very excited to welcome you, Aleksandra, in my podcast series. Yeah, can you tell us a little bit more about your background and your journey in STEM?
Thank you. Thank you, Sarah, first for inviting me. And yes, it was a journey also for both of us, 5 years indeed in Berlin, connecting off and on. I would say my love for mathematics was what brought me to data science, machine learning in the first place. And I have to say, I always had like someone like a role model, and that was my older cousin. She was 6 years older, and she studied informatics, and somehow I was mirroring her. And I liked mathematics. I went or physics, went to some competitions and so on. But when it came to choose the universities, that I followed, let's say, her path. And this is how I ended up studying computer science and engineering in my home country, North Macedonia. And there I was really looking into, like, I really like theoretics more than programming, pure programming. And this is where I ended up in machine learning part, actually, of the
Yeah,
of the role.
and you
So,
did a PhD. You went,
yes.
so you
So,
studied computer science and you did a PhD in bioinformatics, right?
yes, so it was a mixture. In Macedonia. We don't have this concept of how to say, like a PhD, or we didn't had anything that is related to projects. Is you can choose your own topics, let's say, or depend on your professor. So I really liked bioinformatics because my both parents are medical doctors. It was like a merging, I don't know, the interest of my parents or helping people, but with less people contact with more with computers. So I did my master's in collaboration with Technical University in Graz in Austria, and in the topic of informatics. And when I went back to my university, also the PhD was combination of bioinformatics, so complex networks for both, let's say, synchronization of networks, but also protein interaction networks, which is the part of the bioinformatics. And when I moved in Germany, I was originally looking for, or specifically in Berlin, I was looking for such opportunities where I can practice bioinformatics.
Okay, so you loved mathematics, you loved computers, cubes, and also you got the opportunity to do to take also the bioinformatics part because it from the medical background as
Yes.
well. Okay, and how you said you moved to Germany? How did you transition from Macedonia to Germany? What I mean, how did you do it? That like from a PhD to
Yeah,
industry and so on.
exactly. So I moved in Germany because of my husband. So I actually originally was able to stay in Austria, for example, for PhD, but I decided to go back at my home country and did the PhD there. But then after my PhD and being in a long distance relationship, it was more, how to say, logical that I moved to Germany for
Yeah.
and better career opportunities. And the decision was either I would like to continue with something like postdoc maybe, or working in a university like a Charité, like or Max Planck or Max Delbrück. But I really wanted to move into industry and then see the applied side of machine learning, because in when you are in academia, you really work with really nice data, with really clean data, and then you take another level of the theoretical analysis or these ideas that you have and how they are going to improve some models. But I really like to see how this is working in the with the real data in industry and how you really have a product that is applied very quickly, like it's used very quickly. So I was looking specifically in industry jobs. And as I said, first I worked in a small startup because in my location was pretty determined, let's say Berlin. And in Berlin, there are not many bioinformatics opportunities, also in Germany in general. And I worked for a year and a half in a small startup, where we were developing models for personalized cancer research or medical, how different medicines will help cancer patients. So we were simulating the drug signaling pathways.
Wow. And
So
then
yeah,
you move it
it
to
was really
delivering hero.
interesting.
Okay. This is
Yes.
like survive. Like
Um,
okay.
yes. No, this was really interesting. As Alakris Theranostics, very
Good.
interesting use case business. But again, it's a was very small startup
Very
and
specific,
also very
small.
academic based, with the patients mostly coming from Switzerland or Austria. Yeah. And the progress there was not so high. So we were 20 people. There was not a lot of space for
You were
growth.
like you wanted I mean after like the moving from from academia to something applicable, I think there
Yes.
was also a time then you thought, okay, I want to get to something like bigger,
Bigger
something that
and more. Yeah.
has like more stacks into it
Exactly.
as a product
Exactly.
and so on.
And from my network, I had someone working at Deliver Hero where they were actually looking for a machine learning engineer back then, to work on recommendations algorithms, which was completely new topic for me. So I have never worked in recommendations, but I think I was always keen, like I always tried to work in multidisciplinary areas, like
Mm.
learn something new, apply something from what I know to this new area. And this is how I got into Deliver Hero,
Okay.
and with my title back then being, I think, senior machine learning engineer. Data scientists were not even yet a thing.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Okay. What were some of the challenges you faced during these transitions, and especially as a woman?
Yes, of course. I think always, like when you go to STEM, it's always that you're like a minority and that you really need to be even loud or pushy or bossy, whatever,
We call it.
however need.
Yeah, yeah.
So your voice is heard. And I think, though I did never had a problem with speaking up and trying to repeat things if I really strongly believe in this. I think what helped me is that in high school I practiced debating. So I
Debating.
was always,
Oh,
yes,
okay.
equipped with knowledge. Okay, how can I stand for my point and my view, or how can I, present something?
Wow.
And also
So
that
good.
the
I mean, in
topic.
high school you did that. You were interested in
Yes, yes,
learning.
I did. Like we had also this Macedonian model of United Nations, so where I was participating, and you need to always present your viewpoint and so on. And also that in university, when I was doing my PhD, I was teaching, and also like I didn't have this. I was very comfortable with public speaking or talking and giving talks and so on. Um, but I think it's really important because sometimes we women I mean we can be right and we can know something, but we are not heard, and we or yeah or
You think that the
and we are shy to make the point and push more for our opinion. So I
mm,
think this is really important that we are strong enough and confident enough to push for our opinion, be follow up, write again if necessary. Um, but I would say that, yeah, exactly. And the network is smaller. So some, like in this profession is it's mostly male dominated, and they make friends more easily between them, right?
I think
And
also you,
the
when you
network,
become a mom, it's also
yes,
more like
and the network of women is smaller. So yeah, as you grow also in your career, it's more difficult to make to have a bigger network of connections. But this is also important that you always be mindful of and try to make acquaintances, try to talk to people.
mm,
Um, I think there are no big, how to say, regrets or no big disappointments. But sometimes, yes, you don't know if something's happened because you're a woman, or you're overlooked for some earlier promotion, or someone takes a project from you or something like this, or it's just the normal company politics or something like this. So, yeah.
yeah. For you, I mean, do you remember a specific moment when you faced a challenge, like a roadblock, and what was it, and how did you overcome this during your career?
Exactly. Have been many situations. As I said, usually it's about something that I want to work on or something that I'm very 100% sure that I can deliver this or I can build this and I can bring success. But of course, it's not a my decision, or many other parties are involved, many other people are involved. And the best, what I'm usually trying to do is to do the best I can, fight about this situation, come up with all the facts, come up with all the proposals, write a document where I have like a evidence, okay, this is what I'm saying, this is what I'm bringing to you. This is the outcome I believe we can develop or we can bring to the table. And basically, it's do my best. And
Yeah, and then
sometimes
accept the result.
work. Exactly. Sometimes this will work and the gratification is really big, right? You have achieved something.
Mm.
But sometimes many things are out of your control, but at least you know you tried your best and you gave your best. Um, and then, yeah,
That's what
try
matters.
not to
Yeah, I
stay
mean,
very negative about the
yeah,
uh,
yeah.
situation or things you cannot influence.
Yeah, yeah. Always focusing on how did you like perform in that, and
Yeah.
from that point move forward, not stay. Oh, this is
Yes,
not
and
work.
find a new challenge.
Yeah, yeah. Okay, and was there a person or a resource that played a crucial role in helping you overcome such challenges, especially in, I mean, these challenges that you shared now?
Yeah. I think so. Always through my journey, even at the university, I tried to surround myself with like a mentors. Even my PhD mentor, like have someone that can guide you and that can help you. Like you can ask freely questions. You can be vulnerable freely or ask for help. Maybe my recent experience is really, really positive. It will sound like a commercial, but I was transitioning exactly recently to the senior data science manager role, which is quite different than working with directly with reports like individual contributors, compared to working with managers and then having more also like different layers of directors above you and so on. So I did a mentorship program. So I had to say I did coaching program a couple of years ago, and somehow this was not very good for me. I didn't found it suitable. The coaching program was more about figuring things out yourself and the coach asking you questions and you try to
Yeah,
figure it
yeah.
out. And the mentorship program was actually quite better for me, and I knew it would be better because I had someone that went through this experience that is more experienced than me, much advanced in the career. They were a woman, so shout out to Femme Palette mentoring program and Alenka,
Mm.
my mentor. And this was actually very beneficial for me because I had a mentor that I can go with questions. Okay, if I know some situation is coming up to me, how should I position myself, or what should be I mindful of or aware, or even better, usually we talked about situations and my reaction or my and reflection on my reaction, or what can I do better next time, or what I'm struggling currently with. So I think this was very eye-opening to me. And I think exactly this is now even a way forward for me to look, okay, imagine if I have new situation. I don't have my mentor maybe anymore, but I have
But you can apply
situation.
the tools that you learned from.
Exactly. And then I can still reflect on the conversations, or still think ahead of what can come up from this situation, and how can I react. So
Yeah.
I'm always recommending to everyone. I also had a mentoring actually within my company, like initiative we have within Delivery Hero, and this was also very helpful.
Okay. Thank you
Yeah,
for
but then it was male mentors, so sometimes they don't understand also the challenges
But
we
it
face. But
brings
I mean, it was
a
very
different
helpful.
perspective, right? Yeah.
Yes, it was more about also company organization, and how things works inside, and yeah.
Okay. Yeah, so you mentioned we will share, I will share in the details about the mentoring program that you was helpful for you. Okay, for you, what was something that you did in your career and you are proud of, like a success story now?
Yeah,
Not a challenge, now
I'm
it's about success.
Yes, exactly. I would say it's having the courage to move from IC role to managerial role. So I'm and learning, because I was also in parental leave, coming back, things always change. You have a lot of younger colleagues actually that they have no even family, and seeing how people are very active about their career, very mindful and asking for things, and going to the managers and asking for promotion and asking for raise, where I was used to also like culturally to wait for the
Wait,
appraisal,
yeah, wait for
wait for the promotion. Yeah, exactly. Wait, never ask, just do great work, put the effort, and not do anything proactively. And this was the biggest learning that I had. So exactly when there was opportunity for me to like I had a project that I was leading on the side. I had a master's student working on this. I like voluntary doing all of this. And when this project moved to another department, when they were looking for a manager, and with my husband's support, he was like, "Why don't you apply?" I think I would never had the courage to also to apply, or to say, "Oh no, I should do it. This is my initial project," and so on. But I think I'm really proud of that taking that step, and asking for, "Hey,
asking.
I'm interested in this role."
I'm
Yeah,
interested to
and
continue on this. Yeah.
now I think when you try this, and when you see it, okay, it works, it's helpful, I always also recommend it, and I'm now also more confident to ask for things
Yeah.
and
And
to
the more you practice it, the more you become more confident, right? Like
exactly
it's fine. Whatever is happens after, I'm fine with
exactly
it. You get to accept. I think before in the beginning, we are so afraid of what happens next, and then we find that we can survive the next.
Exactly. And this is what I teach my child also. Like I I have a school kid, and I teach them now, okay, ask the teacher, and you can either gain something, a point or so, why she wrote this, or why she took a point from here. This the worst thing you can happen, it's nothing.
Yeah,
It can't be bad.
it's
So either you get the promotion, so which is the
yeah,
thing you
yeah.
want, or maybe you don't get it, but this is where you are now, so it's not a minus.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Okay, thank you for this, and yeah, I'm happy to hear such a story because we definitely are afraid to ask more than
And
others, I think, especially as women. And you mentioned something because at this point I wanted to get back to it because you mentioned how when you were in parental leave and then you returned and there were colleagues who were not on parental leave basically, so they were moving forward. How did you help? I mean, what helped you not focus on, oh, they are there and I'm here, it was just back. I mean, what helped you to get that position or into that position of confidence, like and advocate for yourself, basically. I mean, other than I mean, a mindset shifts that happened in you.
Yeah. To be honest, and this is something that I heard from my back then my manager, is also that he knew that I'm in the end more experienced than them. So maybe I don't have the time to invest at work as they would have, like extra hours or something like this. But what I had, and something that I was like generally good at, is to predict, is this worth doing or not? Whereas new, more less experienced colleagues, they might go and do, I don't know, 5 experiments or 20 experiments, or build some model that is fancy. But what I had more as it was my experience, my knowledge, this also
Yeah,
theoretical.
your differentiator. You found your
um,
differentiator.
exactly, and then I was able to, with less effort, let's say, do the right thing. And I, this is what I teach always my employees, like you will do this thought experiment. Why do this all 10 experiments, coding them or trying them, running them, where you can think, okay, what are the top 3 that make sense and then will bring me most value? um and I think, I don't know, I was always passionate about what I'm doing. And I was like, the time spent working, I think, was quality quality time spent working. But it's also a good point, something that I wanted I to follow up on, that also now as a manager to diverse teams, I also see this, that men a bit more pushy about their career. They will always ask for promotion, ask for, very mindful
Negotiate.
about their career
Yeah.
path, ask for pay raise, where exactly women are more reserved and they're exactly they're doing great job, but they will not push and they will not ask. So I also now, at this view, I also try to encourage them, actually,
Mm, mm.
to do that.
Okay. Yeah. Um, Thank you for sharing. How do you balance your professional life with your personal life, especially as you have a family, you have a kid, and you are leading a team? So
That,
what are your tips there? Can you share some of
yeah,
it?
I mean, I think it's cultural thing. I don't know. So what I tried to do, especially when I became a manager, I had a work with me guide. I know now it's not maybe so popular, but a couple of years ago, this was a popular. It can be 1 2
You work with
pages.
what?
Oh, how to work with me guide. It's a
Big
document.
guide. Ah,
Yes, it's a document. Like, there is a media
how
blog
to work
post.
with big
Actually,
guides.
someone from
Okay.
like Berlin has it. Bastian Bach from the Mentoring Club, I think. And it's this document, you go really personal. It's, and you say, okay, I start working at 8 a.m. or 8:30, and but I finish at 4:30. That
Mm,
you say my family time is from, I don't know, 4:30 5 p.m. till 6 7 p.m., and I'm not doing anything related to work because this is when my kids are home, we have dinner and so on. And then you say, like, for me also, often happen that after the kids are in bed, I will open the laptop and check if something urgently is happening or I need to reply to someone and so on. But I don't expect from the others to do this. So this is also important, that this is this is my
make
rhythm
it
of
clear.
working,
Yeah, yeah.
because this is when I have the time. Or in the mornings, right? I can take meetings with Singapore at 9 or 8:30, but I don't expect from my team to do the same because maybe they start working at 10. So you communicate your boundaries and maybe your exceptions, right?
Mm,
And then, and this is what I try always to be vocal about. And there, of course, there will be occasions when someone adds me at a 5 p.m. meeting or a 6 p.m. meeting, and then I will reject. And then I will put always in the calendar out of office hours, like
yeah.
kids pick up time. And I try not to get frustrated about this.
The joy,
Um,
there's something I heard about it, the joy of missing out sometimes.
yes,
You
and
learn the
exactly.
joy of missing out.
It's difficult actually now, if you have Slack on your device, a personal device, or the email. It can be very tempting that you check and answer. So I had these periods, right? I would have Slack on my device. I would have also my email, but then I'm gonna get nervous that I cannot answer or I'm not there while I'm with my kids. But now it's all turned off.
Right.
I like after some time, yes, exactly. I can
Yeah.
I think it's everyone needs to check their level of responsiveness of stress. Is this good for me? Does it work? If it's not, yeah.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, it's generally a good practice. I did it myself, like to separate the work device from the personal device. Otherwise, because that's what our devices make us like feel like we need to answer now everything. Like you get, especially you get a notification. Why? Like it's as if like I need
Exactly.
to answer it now, and that pressure of answering it now sometimes like
Yes.
so it's good to put the boundaries. Okay.
Exactly.
So you said having the how to work with me guide. Yeah, just curious. Do you
I will
is it
share.
like only you that put it, or also your team member you use it as well? I mean, how to
I
work
have
with me.
seen it mostly with managers,
Mm,
not a lot of um, individual contributors, but I don't see why this would be also not the case.
yeah,
Because I
nice.
think it's like where you are also explain your communication style. You
Mm,
also explain like I'm a person that shares too much information, and like I'm gonna share papers or what I read with the team,
yeah.
and this sometimes can feel like a noise to someone. So you put all of this, at least what you're aware of yourself, or how you do the one-on-ones, or what you expect from the one-on-ones from your team members, what questions they should ask, and so
Yeah,
on. So
and
it's
you said the
very kind.
communication style as well. This
Yes,
thing like I
exactly.
heard last week in a podcast, they say like when you get a new job, when you even in the interview process, asking about the communication style in the team and being aware of your communication style. For example, I read a lot. I have to think before I answer. Some people know they talk a lot and then they think. So it's like that's why I told you, do you do it only like for you, like the how to work with me guide? Because I saw the opportunity that is like a good thing, even if the team implements it. So I was curious if you are doing it
I
for.
think it's amazing. And I mean, it's usually it's not something that you like people reread it, right? But at least when someone is new
Yeah, also.
and someone
Yeah,
joins to the team or you join to a new team, you share it and maybe everyone reads it once and that's it.
yeah. Once I think once is already enough, like to get to know, and then like they will get to know you as you communicate together as well. But it sets the stage for the things in the beginning, which is good.
Yeah.
Okay, what change would you like to see in the industry? I mean, in the STEM, in the field, to better support women? Yeah,
Uh, I think we are doing a lot. Like I think tech companies are doing a lot, but it's not straightforward. And I think when we need to hire fast, I think like we have a lot of bigger pool of males and males that are more experienced, so we rush through and usually hire male. Um, I think planning ahead, at least the companies, they can plan ahead with the hiring better and then always like have a fixed number of
cool.
positions that they're going to hire women. I would say that I think we are in general very mindful, at least at my experience at Delivery here, we're very mindful and we're looking to the numbers and everything. But what I see is that when you need to hire someone fast, and then yeah,
Yeah, I think
mm,
this is related more like for having anticipating, as you said, like and having I think having a pool of
yeah,
potential
and
candidates that you build the relationship with or that you know about
um,
is going to help in the mission of achieving that, right?
overall, exactly. I think I would say that support is there, like a mentorship or a networking. We have a lot of now events or meetups that are focused on women in tech and so on. Um, Parents also, right? I think this is another like
Yeah.
another category of
Yeah.
our mothers. But also maybe giving more opportunities to
To
part-time
part-time.
jobs.
I was going to ask you, were you
Exactly.
doing, are you doing it or were you doing it at some point part-time and then full-time? How is it,
It,
I mean, for you?
yeah. I usually work full-time, and I did part-time after my first my second child, so after my maternity leave for 6 months. But in the end, I ended up working full-time. So the
Hmm.
only flexibility I had, I finished early, like at 3 p.m. to pick the kids early,
And then
but
what?
then I would end up working in the evening. So this didn't make sense. I would say hybrid work now, or it's helping with this because you're more flexible. You're like, okay, you will post message, I'm now picking up the kids, but I'm gonna be back online later and so on. Whereas if you go to the office and then you need to leave at 3 or 3:30, it's you put a pressure on you that you are not doing, even if you're working full time and maybe you're working in the evenings. And an interesting comment I had from one manager was that if I this was before becoming manager, like the message was, oh, if you work part-time, you will never become a manager. So that's impossible, which was
Yeah.
really bad and a lie. But I think
Yeah,
having
I think
roles where you can join with a part-time. So, right, start as a part-time and not taking part-time after maternity leave or something like this. This would be
yeah,
like very
giving the possibility for work in the field of tech and with part-time because we are, it's possible to make it work, right? I think it's
yeah,
like the judgment in the beginning and
yeah.
that turns out not right. Okay. What advice would you give to women who are in STEM and are currently facing challenges in their careers? They want to change the field or change the job. They want to grow.
Yeah, I think take time to think what is important for you or what makes you happy or where you want to be. Think about the goal. And then just, I know it sounds already heard, and silly, but I think it's important that you have this, okay, I really want to achieve this. And then what are the steps I need to be mindful about the steps and trust yourself. Like never, don't give up, at least not after you tried multiple times or you explore, you network, you
Yeah.
connected with people. So this is really important because it's easy to get demotivated and discouraged. I think it with no one's success is straight line, right? We know it's always
Yeah.
ups and downs. You try, you fail, but you try again and so on. So this is, I think, the most important. It's important to like what you're doing and to enjoy what you're doing because this is the only way that you gonna exactly stay motivated to try again and to be confident and to believe in your goal, let's
To
say.
accelerate. Yeah. And to accelerate your growth, like we see with you, Alexandra, because you loved what you are doing, like you loved mathematics, machine learning, you could push through the challenges, moving countries and so on, and asking for what you want. Thank you. I mean, for these tips. Where can our audience find you and follow your work and your path? Maybe someone
Oh,
wants to have you as a role model.
yeah, so I don't use social media that much. I'm on LinkedIn,
Okay.
and sometimes I post there. Sometimes like I answer messages, but also not that often. But exactly, LinkedIn will be the right place. I would definitely have profile on
Yeah,
Xing
yeah.
too,
I
but
wish. Okay,
but
LinkedIn.
not the
That's where
same.
we are connected as
And
well.
on LinkedIn, I always try to share whatever, like if we went to some conference, we presented something, there are some new openings in the teams and so on. So I try to share anything work related there.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. Thank you, Alexandra. It was nice to speak with you today. Yeah. For our audience, please share with us your comments, your insights, and your questions. And I will get back if you have any question for Alexandra. I will be happy to share it with her. Otherwise, that's it for today. Thank you for your time. Thank you,
Thank you,
Alexandra.
Sarah. Thank you.
Bye.